YouTube world, Mac Daddy 1911A1 here with the Shade Tree Survivalists. Today I want to discuss how easy it is to clean the M14 rifle regardless of what type of chassis it is for your normal maintenance. Okay, not your once a year really thorough super duper maintenance, but for your once in a while maintenance after you've shot the rifle and so forth. Now this is the type of maintenance you would do if you haven't been getting a lot of sand in it and so forth. But just to show you guys just how easy it is, I don't think I've ever done this on video, and what is required to do so. Now we all know you got a couple pins on the AR. You pop out the rear pin, you fold it over, you pull out the bolt and so forth, and it's real easy and so forth to do that. But then the hard part, the hard part of scrubbing all that damn carbon off the bolt and out of the recess, for the barrel extension where the star pattern bolt lugs lock into the barrel extension, and of course around that and the face of the bolt and so forth. It's not that hard to do on an M14 type rifle, but the biggest thing is a gas system, okay, and that goes for AR, FAL, FAL, the freaking even the new SCAR. I mean, you got to get your gas system clean so it'll operate. I'm out here in the shop today, and I've got a table laid out with some of the last piece of pegboard I haven't installed yet, so it sort of give you a better view of it. That bright background's gone, so you can actually see better of the rifle. But on an M14 rifle, right up here under the barrel, of course, is your gas system, and inside this tube is a piston, and there's another. It looks like a tube, but it's connected to the op rod that the piston pushes against, that pushes that op rod to the rear, which of course is connected to the bolt. You can open up the, and I've got the bipod off of it. I don't know how well the camera can see this right here. Okay, there's the bolt face inside the receiver. I'm having to hold the camera in order to get a shot of it. Okay, getting access to the bolt without taking it out of the rifle is fairly easy. Just take the magazine out, which of course is like an AK-47. Push in the release, rock the magazine right out. Next step would be to unhinge the trigger guard here and pull the entire trigger assembly out, and then you have access to the bottom of the bolt and of course the face of the bolt, which, like I said, in AR is very easy to do, a lot easier to do. As far as if this was out of this chassis, it would be nothing. I mean, you just pull the bolt, the trigger group out, and push the rifle forward a little bit and rock it up and out, and it'll pop right out of the standard stock. This one here is a bit more involved, but even with it in the chassis, you can pretty much get 99% of the bolt. The only thing you can't do is disassemble it for internal cleaning, which requires a tool. Okay, and here's the tool. This is a multi-tool that was manufactured for the M14 rifle. You've got the wrench, you've got a screwdriver adapter up here. This is the end that you would need to disassemble the bolt. It's very dangerous because the springs for the extractor and the ejector are very, very powerful, and you can get hurt. So they make another specialized tool for that. I would not recommend using this to disassemble a bolt unless you have a face shield on, because it can pop that damn thing out of there and plunge it through your eyeball and kill you. But it is designed so that you can disassemble the gas system here. All right, any 3/8 inch wrench will do this, but that's what the initial purpose is. The other thing is to tighten up the screws on the sight system, and it is the handle for the original GI cleaning rod. You can see the extension of where the rod would actually screw into it. The other thing that is included with it is a ratcheting bore or chamber brush. Now this is just for the chamber where the cartridge actually sits, okay? In the chamber, and you take one of these shorter sections of the rod, and which What I always use is just the tip for your patch, and you just simply screw it in there, and you insert it into the chamber, and as you ratchet it back and forth, it'll turn. I don't know how well the camera can see that, but it'll turn, and it'll scrub the interior of the chamber very, very well. So those are two of the tools that you should have if you have an M14. Now let's demonstrate just how simple and easy it is to disassemble the gas system on this thing you know, for general cleaning, everyday cleaning, not a super thorough cleaning. We'll get into more detail on that in just a moment, if I can get the camera to work with me, cooperate. All right, here's the gas system at the front of the rifle, and here's a gas plug. You can use one of these tools, makes it a whole lot easier, but it is not necessary. They make a dozen different kinds. This is my Satellite Industries version of this tool, and it is nice. But basically you just slide it over the gas system right there where the front lock and the main part of the gas cylinder are at. Take your handy dandy little tool or a 3/8" wrench, and you slide it on the gas cylinder, lefty loosey, and I must have torqued the piss out of this baby last time. It is hard if you tighten it up pretty good. It's very hard to hold the rifle still with you know, holding the stock with your feet or whatever, trying to turn that darn nut loose. So the little tool here is so handy, and it doesn't cost much, so I don't know why anybody wouldn't want it. You know, I actually have a ratcheting end wrench that would work really well on this. Don't know why I didn't think to grab it. But there is the plug, and it's dirty. I actually need to clean it today, but it's made out of stainless steel. Now, what about the piston? All you got to do is tilt the rifle forward, and the piston comes right out, and you can see it hasn't been cleaned. It's in dire need of cleaning, but it is also stainless steel. But the gas enters the front of the piston because the piston be oriented like this with the flat part up. Gas enters the piston, and the piston is hollow, and it blows the gas this way, which makes the piston go this way, which pushes the op rod and in turn the bolt system, which extracts, ejects, and reloads the next round into the chamber. And that is it. The only thing you really got to do to tell if the rifle is in dire need of cleaning is tilt the rifle forward, up or down, and you can hear the piston sliding in and out of there. And once if it starts to stick, then you know you have to go in there for more or you need to take it apart for cleaning. This here is a little lock. Alright, you just turn that baby all the way out if you want to clean under there. Once this out of the way, then you just wiggle. This baby ain't been off in a while, and I have shot the piss out of it since then. And because it wants to be a booty butt, I got my plastic non-marring hammer that I got from somewhere, and I'm going to just tap on it. You definitely do not want to use a hammer that'll skin up your, and this thing's coming apart. But yeah, we got a lot of crap because we haven't cleaned this part of it in a long while. But here is the tiny little hole. Okay, and here's the little gas hole right here. Okay, this is what siphons the gas off into another little tiny hole up in the gas system here, which goes down into the piston, makes the piston go rearward, pushes the op rod, and operates the rifle. It's very simple, but that's the tiny little gas hole right there. Now what we got to clean all that mess up, but you don't even have to do that. I mean, for everyday cleaning, this is, you know, ever so often when you're at base camp or whatever. This is not a big huge deal, but it is dirty, and so we need to clean it, and therefore we're going to clean it. But it's simple. I mean, there's nothing to it. But primarily all you're wanting to do is clean out the cylinder and clean out the piston. Okay, you widen the angle back out, and that's really all you got to do. And then of course the bolt face and the receiver area and the chamber and the barrel, and that's it. That is it, and none of it is very, very hard to do. Now, what would you have to do to really clean the pea-whacking out of the piston? Because the piston is what's going to get the most crap on it. What do you need to do to clean it out, inside of it specifically? I'll show you that in just a moment. Okay, 3 more tools. Now you have to remember, you will be your own armorer. You will not be able to send your rifle back ever so often for a qualified armorer to check and to do a thorough, absolute in-depth cleaning of the system. So I bought some of the tools. Now these 3 drill bits, this is for the piston, drill number P, .323 or 323 hundredths of an inch in diameter. This one is a plug drill. This is for the gas plug. Alright, all you got to do is you just take the drills and you run them in, and the camera's probably not picking this thing up, but boy, you ought to see all the carbon that's coming out of it, just making a mess on the floor. But you just run them in there. You don't have to really, just make sure they're square, and that bit will clean all the crap out of your system. And then you just go in there with some solvent and a brain's going crazy on me this morning. But you go in there with some solvent, you go in there with a freaking the patch, and just run around in there, or a Q-tip, run around there, really clean the pea-whacking out of it. Now the piston requires 2 of them, because there's a little thin hole all the way down the end of the piston, and that's what this little skinny one here is. This is piston drill number 15.180 inch. So you run it in there, and it's the same thing. You just turn it, and it has got a lot of carbon build up in it. And I'll show you guys how much of it came out of it when I'm done. But yeah, like I said, you're going to have to be your own armorer in a situation without rule of law, whatever the case may be. So you want to make sure you have the tools to do it. But I've still got 2 more tools to purchase, but for now this is what I've got. And the main hole that you're going to be dealing with in the front of the piston, it's got a different one. This is number P, I think. And boy, at the carbon falling out of that baby on the down floor. And there's a huge hunk of it, right? A big flake fell off of it. You clean all that crap out. And then this one here, if I'm not mistaken, and I am mistaken, I was going to say it goes in there, but a Q-tip will clean that out with some solvent. But yeah, we got a lot of carbon out of those 2 items, and they're that's what the piston looks like. And yeah, it's a whole hell of a lot cleaner now than it was when I started. But anywho, there you go. So I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna clean old Betsy up and get this system and all knocked out, get it cleaned, and then we'll go from there. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, all those little fine speckles. Let me see if I can find something nice and pointy. About a pencil, which is broke, but anyway. All these little fine speckles, that's the carbon that came out of the piston. And that's a flake. If the camera can see that, right there is a flake. Let me see if the camera sees that. No, it does not. So yeah, that's a flake, 2 flakes right there of carbon that had built up inside the cylinder and the piston. Now the big blotch is black. That's something's been on the floor. I don't know how long. There's no telling. But yeah, it was dirty. It was needing to be clean. But see, that's one of those things. Even though it was filthy, it was not in any danger of not working. Because as long as that piston will slide back and forth when you tilt the rifle forward or backwards, it is perfectly fine and dandy. Now, let let me give y'all a heads up. Whatever you do, do not use an abrasive on that baby right there. Alright? If you scratch that piston, you ruined it. Seriously. So what I always do is I really saturate it with bore solvent, and then I just let it sit. And that's the last thing I clean, and I use a cloth, a nice soft cloth to knock all that mess off. I mean, don't use any damn thing. It may be stainless steel, but it's not as nearly as hard as chrome, and it is easy to scratch. And if you scratch it up, you ruined it. Simple as that. Your accuracy, the functioning of the rifle will be very badly affected. So do not use any damn thing that is abrasive on your piston, because that right there is the key to the whole ball of wax. And if you ruin it, buddy, I mean, they don't cost that much, but why in the hell would you want to buy 3 or 4 more? You know what I'm saying? Just don't use anything abrasive on it. Take that solvent and let it sit. And like I've got it in this old lid, this old metal lid here that was on one of my dad's. People used to give him candy and stuff like that, and it was in the metal boxes, you know, and this is the lid off of one of them. And I just got it sitting in there, and every so often I'll rotate it and turn it and let it all settle down to the low spots and really work while I'm cleaning the rest of the rifle. Now, we had some seriously caked up crap on the barrel, and what I used on it, because the solvent alone was not enough, and I've done set the freaking thing down somewhere, was this little bronze brush. Alright, it's a lot softer than the steel. Even though it's softer than steel, I do not use this on the piston. I do not use anything on the piston, but I used it on the barrel right here on this interface, because it will not scratch the steel of the barrel. But I knocked all that carbon and all off, and then I've wiped it down really good and dried it off very good. Now this is the crush washer, and apparently once it's on there, it's on there. It's mashed flat when you tighten down on your gas system with the well, when you tighten this up, well, let me do it like this in order to show you guys. Right there. Okay, it slides into those slots, and then this ring, you tighten it up onto it, and then you really bear down, not gorilla tight, but fairly good and tight on the gas plug, and that tightens all up. And that crush washer is designed to give it the exact tolerances that is needed, and it works real well. And it's also stainless steel, as you can see. It's shiny. That's one of the shiny parts. I've painted part of it, and part of it I missed, but it won't adhere to stainless steel worth a spit anyway. But anywho, I'll continue cleaning, and we'll get back to you. And maybe this will be helpful to some of you guys who own M14 type rifles. Let me get that wide is killing the view of the camera. But the threads up here, let me zoom in right quick. I can get the camera to cooperate. Alright, the threads where the little lock, the little figure 8 looking piece go, here they were dirty. And in order to clean the inner threads on the figure 8 piece, instead of taking the front flash suppressor off, which can be, you can really screw up if you mess around with that thing, because there's a little lock set screw. It's an Allen head, set tiny. If you round that baby off, you have done screwed up big time. So I don't mess with that. But in order to clean the inside threads, what I'll do is I'll clean these really well. Put me a dab of solvent on there, and I'll just run it on and off a couple times and work it in there to clean those threads off. Now you want to make sure those threads are good and dry as possible when you're done. So you want to keep doing it until you've got all the liquid out of it, if at all possible, because otherwise, you know, it will attack the metal over time of the barrel, so you don't want to do that. Alright, let me get me a patch. Let me get a patch. My Aunt Pauline's rolling over. I mean, she's just flipping out right now just because my English is so bad. She's a school teacher, by the way. Her and my Uncle E.D., who just passed away last year, who was a D-Day veteran. I ain't gonna go there with the president. What a piece of dog crap. That's all I gotta say on that matter there. He was able to visit just a few years ago, the World War II monument in Washington, D.C. Let's see if that's a better angle for you guys so you can see what I'm doing. But you can see how dirty that is. Oopsie daisy. Okay. See how dirty that is on the threads. And I just keep cleaning that out. I mean, I want it clean. Now look, I don't baby Betsy often, but when I do get down and really do a serious cleaning like this, yeah, it's got to be perfect. Alright, and you clean all that crap out of the threads until it's dry. The best thing I've found, I'll be honest, the best thing I have found for this kind of work is a freaking Q-tip, of all things, a Q-tip. Alright, and you can see they're dry. I hope you can see that. It might come out better on a big screen TV or something. Run this baby back on there all the way. Bring it back off. Tell you another thing, high compressed air from like a big air compressor help blow that stuff right out and clean it off. It's an awesome thing to do also. But you just keep working it until you get all the crap off those threads. You don't want the crap sitting on your threads and out of the little slots in between the threads. All right. Okay, let's talk about how to get the innards, the tiny little hole that goes down into the base of the piston. How do you clean it out? Go to any smoke shop and get you pipe stem cleaners, you know, for like a pipe that you smoke. Okay, you take that little pipe stem cleaner and you can get the hole in the piston. If the camera can see that, you can get down in it real easy. You got to be very careful because it's got wire, so you don't want to scratch that piston, especially the exterior of the piston. All right. God, horrible. But you want to run it down in there. Just gently rotate it, because this here will clean out a lot of the carbon. This here will get all the dry it out real good, but you can see, I mean, just terrible, 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 and some more terrible. But you run that baby around in there a little bit. Alright. And when it's saturated and filthy like that, get yourself a pair of dikes. Oh, if I can grab them. Let me back this camera out a little bit. That's too damn close. Get your good pair of dikes. These here are Connect Nipics. Okay, made in Germany. They're really good, high quality. Just clip it. Just cut it right off pretty please. Take the rest of it instead of going and getting a whole brand new one and ruining the darn things. You know, wasting so much of it. Just keep going. Just keep going. And it comes out cleaner. Next, just keep on going, man. That's all you gotta do. Now, if you have a .17 rod, I think a .17 rod will work in this. And here a while back, I was gonna give the .17/22 rod to Scout, and I took it out, and before it was over with, he had his own, and it's in the house somewhere, and I have no idea. So all I got is the 22 caliber rod. I don't have one small enough to push a patch down in there. But you damn sure have to be careful if you get it stuck. There you go, you ruined the damn thing again. But I just keep going until it's clean. You know, that's just all there is to it. And this little tiny pipe stem cleaner will also clean out the little tiny hole on the barrel, so you can clean it out also. I think I may have to have another one before this is all said and done. That did all right. I think we'll leave it at that. I think we will leave it at that. Yep, she looks good. Except, now that I've said that, I just told you guys about that little hole in the barrel, which is right here. And I'm going to just take it and gently, now this is something you damn sure don't want to mess up on the barrel. Gently work it in that hole, make sure that hole is cleaned out and it's clean. So we're good to go there. Now, the next thing you're going to do, make sure you have your safety glasses on and hearing protection if you do this more often than I do. But I'm not going to go all the way back inside and grab a pair of earplugs just to do this. Remember I was talking about the high pressure air. This will blow any of the liquid that is remaining in between the parts right on off. So let me move everything out of the way so it doesn't get splattered if there's very much left in there. And we're going to do this right now. All right. I'm going to turn that piston or that valve. So we got all the excess moisture and so forth off. Now we're going to wipe everything back down again. I apologize, I forgot to say adjust your volume. Hopefully you did so, because that's a little on the loud side, that the air compressor itself, as well as blowing it off of the air itself. Wipe all that crap clean. Those threads good and clean. That's something else. When I clean old Big Bertha, my 1911, I'll blow it out from the bottom going out that way and out of the top going that way in order to get the dirt. Because I mow grass with my 1911 on my hip, and at the end of it, it is absolutely covered, and that's fine because it'll work. Simple as that. The day Scout and I had went shooting, I had mown the grass a dozen times. Well, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 times with the push mower and the big mower before we did that, and the gun was absolutely filthy and it functioned flawlessly. Even though my transition drill sucked, that part of it came out flawlessly. All right, let's see. Alright, the mating surface for this and the lock collar go together. You want to make sure that mating surface is absolutely clean. Any of you guys who work on cars, you will know this. You definitely want that because there's no gasket there, and you want to make damn sure it's good and clean so that what is there has a nice, smooth surface. Alright. Same for where the gas plug is going to ride up here on the front. You want to make sure that's a nice, clean, smooth surface. There's no burrs, there's no dirt, grit, or anything else. Now, because of the way it's designed, you can slide this baby on. Let me see if I can get it to do it. At a, I think it's a 45 degree. Well, that's perfect. So you can actually mount it like that, and the piston will be up here at the top corner instead of down at the bottom in the center. So it's something to think about and pay attention to. So you just slide it back. You want to make sure the piston's at the bottom of the barrel. I mean the gas cylinder's at the bottom of the barrel, and it will slide in. And it'll go all the way up to the crush washer here. And then you slide this baby over. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. This ain't Tommy gun. This is an American rifle. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. which hell they use left-handed threaded stuff on other things. Then the piston, and I'll run one more patch down it before I am done. A nice clean patch to make damn sure the inside of it's nice and dry and clean. That's the thing. No lubricant, no oil, no grease, no lubricant, no moisture. Put it in dry. That's the way it's designed. That's what the book calls for, dry. All right, now the M14 rifle is one of the weapons, and the reason the U.S. Navy SEALs used it for so many years is one of the weapons. As soon as the barrel leaves the water, you can safely fire the rifle, even if the gas system's still in the water. Okay, that's why the Navy SEALs used it for so many years. You got to remember, Special Operations Command has the choice of whatever weapon systems they want, and that's what they kept for many, many years because of that one capability. They used that extensively in Vietnam. Yeah, she's still a bit dirty. And we want to, yeah, she's a bit dirty. Want to make damn sure we get all that cleaned out. Which it's not going to just, you know, it's not going to hurt it to be dirty, but, you know, the exterior part of it, but at the same time, that little bit of dirtiness inside the gun will lessen the amount of volume of gas that it can move through it at one time, and it may build the pressure higher than it needs to be or lessen it. So you want to make sure the gas system is clean. That goes for you on the ARs also, ladies and gents. That looks much better, but still need another patch, I do believe. And then finally I'll go through it with a pipe stem cleaner that I have dropped. Thank God I swept up the shop today and yesterday and so forth, as I've been doing projects around here, building stuff, moving stuff around, hanging pegboard that Chemo got for me. I have had my work cut out for me to keep the damn floor clean. I wish I had put an epoxy coating on the floor before I got started working it so much when I had my truck, because it seemed like that baby stayed filthy all the time since then. Man, that baby so knows it's nasty. So I'll stop the camera. I'm going to have to keep working at it. Alright, let's talk about this little baby right here. It looks like a screw head, right? What is that? That right there is the valve that turns your gas on and off. Okay, if it gets so fouled up, the piston that it will not operate, you just turn that baby off. All you got to do, you can take if you have long, tough fingernails, and sometimes it'll do it and sometimes it won't, but just turn that baby until the slot is in line with the cylinder of the piston system, of the gas system. If it is vertical, the slot, straight up and down, the gas is on. Alright? You need to clean that out also. Okay, and what I always do is I just turn it upside down with it removed like it, well, with it loose like this, and I squirt, not drop, but I squirt a little bit of stuff in there, and then I turn it and turn it and turn it and the screw that is, and let that crap really work its way around that daggum valve. And then I'll put a patch in there, okay, and then I'll just keep turning it against that patch until it cleans all that mess off. Now it's going to make a mess on the barrel. What do you do to get that off? You just take one of your cleaning patches, lay it on there, pick up, because there's some slack, maybe an 1/8 of an inch of slack, just slide it right up on there like that, and then just turn it against that patch, and it'll clean that mess right out. Now, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I've owned this rifle since 2001, and I've learned all these little secrets, and look at all the crap that comes out of there. But I've learned all these secrets just by trial and error. I didn't have a book that was comprehensive enough. They didn't have YouTube and all that, and maybe there are easier ways to do it. I don't know, but this is the way I've been doing it. And you can see it was nasty. And yeah, I'll be running another one under there before it's all over with, no doubt about it. Now we'll just slide over here enough that I can get a rod in there with a clean patch to wipe the interior of it out real well, all the way out to the rear end of it. Now look right here. Let me see, I'll reposition the camera a little bit, maybe it'll get a better shot of it. You just push it right out and you can see all the crap on the end of the patch, and then just pull it back through. But don't just pull it, turn that baby. Work it back and forth. Really clean the inside of that baby up real good. Alright. All the way in, all the way out. A couple of times at least. And then, you know, do it like the barrel. Keep working it until it comes out clean the final time. But you really want to let it soak in there. Now, let's take another clean patch. Put it on the rod, and I always take, on these particular ones, there's a smooth side and there's a little fuzzier side on it. And run that baby in there, like so. And then I don't know if you can see the, yeah, you can see the rod angled up, but I've got it angled so that, and you can see through the vent hole at the bottom where the excess gas comes out, you can see the patches in there. And I'll just leave it up there pushing against that, and I had to do it like this. I was trying to do it where the camera could see it. Tell you what, let me get a screwdriver. Okay, went and got a screwdriver, which was right here next to me. I just didn't happen to have it. And the camera can see it. Alright, and I'm going to just basically put the screwdriver in the slot and turn it, working it back and forth and completely around 360 so that it works. It allows that patch to absorb all that crap and get as much of it out of there as possible. Now that is not it, and that is not all. I also have a very tiny small air compressor in here, and I'm going to use high pressure air to make sure I get all the crap out of it that I possibly can, okay? But right now this is how we're going to start. We don't want just an absolute ton of it. And there is a wasp that is trying to kill a dirt dauber, and that dirt dauber looked like he came out of it okay. Right at my feet, and of course, yeah, the camera probably didn't catch any of that, but that was pretty cool. Old dirt dauber looks like he's mad as hell. Shove it back in there. Get all that crap out of there. And of course, the last thing you want to do is make sure that damn slot's vertical when you're done cleaning the rifle. Why? You go down to the range and you go to shooting the damn thing and it goes boom once and it doesn't reload itself. You're like, oh crap, I broke my gun. Alright, that's all you did. You just left that from vertical, you had it right there, and that's what happened. Okay? And all you got to do is turn the gas back on, which is just, like I said, you can use your fingernail. And once it's vertical again, bam, you're in business. No problem whatsoever. Let's go ahead and clean the inside this some more. And you can see it's still good and nasty in there. We got some good crap out of there. And that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see all that crap and crud come out of the gun. And like I'm always saying, ladies and gentlemen, wear your safety glasses, okay? Wear your safety glasses. Back over here we go. And apparently the air conditioner kicked on. The lights dimmed for a moment. When that happens at work, it knocks out every freaking machine that's working on the floor that day. And it is a freaking mess, I promise you. Had that happen 3 times on us last week. 2 times on my shift and 1 time on another shift on another crew. And what a freaking nightmare to get all those machines back up and running. I never thought I'd work in a mill, but I am now working in a mill, and it's okay, but it ain't my idea of a good time, I'll promise you. I mean, it's just not something I had ever thought I'd do It's all right though. I mean, the hours are great. The time off is great. The pay, it could be better, but it could be worse. You know, that you always got to count your blessings. I mean, just look at all that filth. Filth, filth, and more filth. Get a new clean one. Another thing is all the little fuzz that come off of the patches. When you get the high pressure compressed air after, it'll blow all that crap out of there, and that's exactly what you want. You want it to get every bit of that crap out off the rifle. You want it clean, so it doesn't just continue to gnaw away at the metal. Because of the extreme temperatures that this stuff is, there is some discoloration to the metal. But as long as you run your fingernail across there, you don't feel any pitting or anything, you're fine. You're good to go. I'll make sure I get the crap out from behind that washer, because there's just a touch of leeway between it and the barrel. I'll make sure I get all that crap. Look at there. I mean, you got to get all that crap out of there. You know, like I said, I'm a little anal with my rifle, but I paid a lot of money for the old girl, and I intend on keeping her in good shape as long as I possibly can. I mean, she's just an outstanding rifle and has served me well to this day. And any issues I've had with her usually have been caused by me. For instance, the failure to extract the other day definitely had something to do with the ammunition, because it was reloads and just a light powder charge or something maybe. I found out that the little drop tube on my loader had some oil in it, and so a lot of the powder was sticking inside that, and that just, oh, I took it, cleaned it all out, and man, the charges got a lot better. But once I've did the testing on the rounds to find out which one my rifle likes the best, then I will definitely start doing the loading. Oh, you guys, I hadn't showed you guys, have I? Back this baby up. I don't know how well the camera will see it from there. Maybe from there it'll see it better. But there's my workstation. My reloading, and I've got it about where I want it. What do y'all think? On the left, warning: if found here at night, you will be found here in the morning. In other words, I'll shoot your ass. In the center, you cannot really see it because of the reloader, but it says, "This home protected by the Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." And finally, on the right-hand side over there, you can see, when guns are outlawed, only outlaws will have guns. Something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Anywho, I will pause the camera, and I'll get back to you guys in a few minutes. Okay, we got the piston clean. It's still discolored, but that's from the extreme temperatures that it's dealing with. Let me see if you can see this right here. Alright, you see the leg of it, whatever you want to call it, at the end of it, is the top of it's flat, and you want that up. Now it faces up. You want to go in one way, so if it doesn't go in the first way, just slide it back out and try again. And when I say up, I mean up toward the barrel. Aha, there we go. And I'll take the cleaning rod with the plastic tip and gently push it on to the rear. And I can see it coming out right there. I don't know if the camera can, I doubt it. And the ring goes there. And finally, and of course we have not finished that. I thought I'd already done it, but I have not. I see that it's absolutely filthy. We want to finish cleaning the gas plug itself. And yes, the threads on it absolutely need to be absolutely totally clean, as well as the mating surface. There we go. And that's what the gas plug looks like, and it's hollow. Alright, you want to make sure this surface here and the threads are absolutely clean and dry. Okay? And of course the inside of it as clean as you can make it. And I gotta put another stinking patch on. Let's see if I can use this little patch to get down to the very tip of it. And you can tell this baby is nasty. And this thing, ladies and gentlemen, all this crap coming out of the gas system, that's called you dumping that kind of crap into the heart of your system on AR. That is the very reason you will not see Mac Daddy 1911 A1 carrying a damn AR direct impingement gun around. Hell to the no, it ain't happening. Give me a freaking break. I mean, they work well enough now compared to how they worked in Vietnam, but I'm still telling you, no. Just the idea that it's dumping all that crap right there into the guts of the rifle. No, I don't think so. Mac Daddy ain't going that route. Ain't gonna go that route. There, 10-4 Roger. So this video is basically a supplement on the video why Mac Daddy 1911 A1 chose the EBR M-14 over an AR platform. It's simple. I mean, it's just simply that. It is a much cleaner operating system as far as the operating system up here in the receiver where all the action's taking place. It is much cleaner, much cooler operating than an AR. Now, AR is inherently a very accurate rifle. You have to work your ass off to accurize an M1A, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But it is still an inherently accurate rifle. And when it hits, well, there you go. Knocks them flat and keeps them there. Oh, yeah. All right, that's good enough. We're not looking for it to be, to look like a freaking shiny car. It's just got to be clean. All right, put that back in there. Like I said, you want them dry. You don't want them. Now you can put some never sees in there, I guess, the copper type never sees. But I'll tell you what we'll do while we're at it, because I forgot to really work in those threads. We'll pull the plug back out, and let's see how much crap is now on the threads from just screwing it in. And we want a clean patch. Yeah, it's a bit dirty, so we'll work those in and out a couple times in order to get all the crud off the threads. We want the threads clean. We want them dry. We don't want them to seize up. So we're not even putting the lock in, because we're not putting the rifle together. We're just running in and then run it back out so we can get all the crap out of there. Use a clean side of patch and just really work it until we get all the crap off those threads. If you bear down hard enough, it'll get down in those threads. It will get down in those threads. Yep, they're good and clean. So we'll call that good for today. Put this back in. Then, take our little tool that makes such a nice ring. I won't do it while I'm holding it. You hear that ring? Ah, bust your eardrums. And no, I wouldn't be hauling this around in the bush and using that damn tool right here, because that baby will damn sure tell the bad guys you're here. Now, clockwise. So you want a right hand turn, that's righty tighty, lefty loosey. And we're gonna do, that's not even quite a quarter of a turn. That's as tight as we're gonna get it from, we got it snug by hand, and that's all we're wanting to do with it. And actually that's gonna be very, very tight, so maybe not, maybe an eighth of a turn once it's snug, and that is it, because that is tight. That is freaking tight. Believe me, I can break anything if given the opportunity tonight. Let me zoom in on it. Can you tell me what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with it, but do you know what's different about it? Have you noticed the slot? All right, the screwdriver slot here, right there at the end of my fingertip. The slot is going this way, all right, in line with the barrel. Now what's wrong with that? Do you remember? The gas is turned off, all right? To turn it on, and I got the camera this time, you can see it. All you gotta do is turn it with your fingernail, the edge of a cartridge, just whatever, until that slot right here is vertical. You want it going straight up and down with the barrel, perpendicular to the barrel versus parallel with the barrel. Okay, a right angle. Then you know the gas is on, so that the valve is open. It'll blow the gas down in here, fill the piston up, piston will push to the rear, working the hot rod, bam, you are in business. Zoom back out. How y'all doing? And that's it. That's the gas system. I mean, I was a little more thorough because it has been a while since I've cleaned the gas system, and you can see that carbon, a lot of it came out of it. And the camera probably could not pick up how it was snowing black carbon. But it's easy, it's simple. If you cleaned it every time you shot it, it wouldn't have taken nearly as long. Let me turn this fan off. I want y'all to listen to this. I'll do it up here by the camera and you can hear it. Let me see. Hear that tink? That's the piston sliding back and forth. As long as you hear that, it's clean enough. It'll shoot right on. Semi-automatic, no problem at all. See? Nothing to it. That's how you test an M14 to see how dirty it is. If that piston is sliding back and forth, you're in good shape. Now let's do it with the hot rod closed. Alright, it's got it held in there so you can't test it that way. Lock the hot rod back. The bolt. And that's all you got to do. Simplest damn thing, simplest picking boogers out of a man's nose. There ain't no doubt about it. And I don't know what kind of a test. I imagine there's a type of test to test an AR out to find out whether it's good to go or not. I don't know. But an M1A, M14 type rifle, M14 rifle, that's it. All you got to do, pull that hot rod all the way back, tilt it to and fro, and you'll hear that down. The piston, all it's doing is it's sliding back and forth there freely. And once it's getting to the point that it's sticking and it doesn't start sliding, that's when you need to worry about cleaning it. But, like I've stated, if it gets to the point it does not want to work, that little screw right here, turn it there. Do you understand? There you go. Nothing to it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Love the M1A. Now, I would go in and show you about the cleaning the chamber and all. It's basically standard as any other rifle. You definitely want to clean the bolt face, clean out the chamber and all. It's quite a bit more difficult as far as doing it correctly and running your rod through the barrel, putting on the end the patch and the brush, bore brush and all that on in the receiver and pulling it out that way. I don't even worry about that. People worry about crud getting in the action. You know what? You know how I solve that problem? I take a good clean rag and I shove it down through there so that it completely covers the front of the action, the bolt and assembly and so forth. I'll push it down. I don't worry about it. Whoop-de-freaking do. And then if I really need to take it apart on this particular rifle, you take the scope off, take 5 big screws or small screws out of the top cover. You take the top cover off. 3 big screws that hold the op rod guide that holds the barrel in there. You take those 3 out, take the trigger group out and pop it right out of the chassis. Now they recommend you don't do that very often, so that's about a once a year kind of a thing to do. But that's when you need to do a really thorough cleaning, because the rest of it you can do with it in the chassis, no problem. Q-tips and pipe stem cleaners are advisable when you are getting, because it is a little difficult, especially with the scope on. If you take the scope off, it's no big deal. Take the the trigger out, trigger mechanism. Let's see. Yeah, you can see that. And I know I've shown this before. Let me release the bolt back to the front. First thing you do is you put it on safe. You pull at the base of the guard and it pops out. I mean, it's once you're used to doing it and you're not worried about breaking a gun because it's really tough. I mean, right there you got access to the bottom of the bolt, the magazine well and all that right there. And I mean, there's nothing to it. And then when you need to go back, you just line it up in there. Let me see, where's my little slot? Right there. And you push the trigger guard back down, lock it into place, and you're done. And I mean, if it gets gobbed up with mud and so forth, because the back of the action up here, where this slot is wide open, crap could get down in there. No, I mean, it just well, let me get it pointing away at the right direction. Pull it out, hit it in the water, wash the crap off of it. Oh, slide it back in, slap it home, you're done. You're done. It's simple. Nothing to it. But anywho, this is big old Betsy and Mac Daddy 1911 M1 and Big Bertha all sitting here together. And we appreciate y'all watching. Like I said, I just did the part of the cleaning to the M14 that's peculiar to this gas system. The rest of it, the barrel and all, it's just like any other damn gun. Any other type of rifle that you can't take, that you can't go all the way out through the back, like on an AR or a bolt gun, which is, it's a nice thing and it's good because that's a nasty son of a gun. But anywho, thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care and have a great day. Okay, just so some smart ass doesn't come up. Oh, you didn't show us. Okay, calm down. Bore chamber brush. Okay, the chamber brush. You insert the chamber brush into the chamber. And let me see how the hell I had to do this. Once I added the scope, it made things a little more difficult, and I just too damn lazy today to take it off. Any section of the GI cleaning rod, which this is the tip for the for a patch, screw into one of the little holes that is in it. Now, if I took the scope off, it would be a hell of a lot easier to do this, but I'm just being lazy today, and I'm not going to do it for whatever reason, and I may end up doing it just because I don't want to look like a total retard. But you screw that thing into it. Well, I thought it was one of these. Maybe you actually have to get the short section of the rod. That is not working. Alright, get it in there. You take one finger, and you can see my finger right here. Push against the base of it, and you just simply work it back and forth. and you want it, you know, secured in there. Let me see.